Good afternoon. We're here with legendary Grandmaster Artur Yusupov at the International Chess Academy, and we decided to do a little interview about his life and career as a chess player. Thanks for doing this, Artur.
Hello.
The first question is, it's common. Who introduced you to chess? What are your earliest chess memories?
My father taught me to play chess. I was 6 years old, and then also I started to play with my brother, and later also with my father. And at some stage, I went to Moscow Pioneer Palace and started to have trainings there and play regular chess tournaments. So I got it in my family.
A lot of chess players they discuss this question. A lot of fans of chess. In your opinion, who do you think is the greatest chess player of all time?
It is a very difficult question. I think that all world champions, they contributed so much to the chess. But for me, the absolute number one is the first world champion, William Steinitz, because he created the rules of positional chess. He gave so much to understanding of the game as nobody before or after him.
For many chess players, one of their crowning achievements is to have what Adolf Anderson, the Immortal game. So for each chess player, there's always this one game where they sacrifice material. Or what would you say? I mean, I have a sneaking suspicion I know, but maybe I'm wrong. What would you say is your Immortal game?
I'm not actually sure that I have this Immortal game. The very popular game which I played was the game against Vasily Ivanchuk, and this game got even some prizes as the best game of the year and so on. But I think I was during this game I had some kind of flow. I was lucky to be in a kind of super form. Personally, I like my game I played against Andrei Sokolov in Soviet Championship. I think it was 1988 in Moscow. I like it more. I cherish it more. I think I made a lot of good decisions in this game. In the game against Ivanchuk, it was like kind of fate. I was like having an extremely good day.
Another interesting question. Who do you think is the greatest chess player that never became a world champion? This is a tough question, I think, but it's an interesting one.
It is tough questions because we have like several candidates, and for example, Akiba Rubinstein is a fantastic player who was feeding his generation and generations after him with strategical ideas, with new strategical ideas. I love the games of Paul Keres and his book, like 100 games. That was really a fantastic book. Many people were raised by books and games of David Bronstein. He was one of the greatest chess players of his time. But I would probably put on number one Viktor Korchnoi for his long record of great games, great tournaments. For so many years he played on such a high level, played several world championships matches. His problem was only one, that he was like competing against Karpov and Kasparov, and they were younger, like 20 years younger than he was. Karpov was 20 years younger. I prefer to talk about Bronstein. Actually, I can tell many things, but for example, for me, he was one of very difficult opponents. Somehow I couldn't play him well. He outplayed me a couple of times.
What was it? I have a question, because I know that he was very well versed in the openings, in the sense that if you look at the match with Botvinnik, many different openings. Was that one reason where it was harder to prepare, because you don't know what he will do?
probably he had very also original style. Also, let's say there is nobody like Bronstein, so that's maybe was his strength.
What would you say is your main joy? What part of chess brings you the most joy or happiness?
I had a very interesting experience. I had one a joint game against Chinese player Li Zunyan, and it was such an interesting ending. And it turned out that to win this ending, I have to run with my knight over the whole chessboard, and it was such like study-like. So I really analysis of these endings they gave me such a pleasure. Yeah. I was able to win the game, but main joy came from analysis, from finding the only way to win this complicated position. So maybe finding the truth in chess and finding beautiful ideas in chess, that's the biggest joy.
Which you can't do it over the board as much because of the pressure.
Yes, if you would be able to do it over the board, that is also good. Yeah, but it is a kind of rare moments. Yeah?
Yes.
But it is as much as joy just to find, even if it is after the game, but to finding the beautiful idea which leads to solution. Yeah, that's for me the biggest joy.
We see Garry Kasparov, maybe the greatest player. I mean, it depends on who you ask. He has turned himself to politics. In the Soviet Union, chess and politics often mixed. With Bobby Fischer, even sometimes barred from tournaments. You have Bobby Fischer with the issue with after the '92 match. You had some Israeli chess players barred from Middle Eastern tournaments, tournaments held in the Middle Eastern countries. Should chess and politics mix? And should chess players consider this when they play? Or should chess be something that transcends politics, government, and everything else?
It's a difficult question because in a way chess also reflects the life. So we cannot be kind of separated world, maybe unfortunately. So there is some interactions. We also have chess politics like together. We're talking about FIDE, and also Kasparov, were running, wanted to be a FIDE president. I don't like it that much, but okay, that's life. We cannot, as I said, we cannot separate ourselves.
Have you ever had a situation where you had to make a decision regarding that back in the Soviet Union or afterwards?
No, fortunately, maybe I was in a way like in a privileged position because I was like a rising star together with Kasparov and some other people of my generation. So we were not we didn't have such a problem. Like for example, Boris Gulko, whose whole career was difficult because of his political view and political position. So sometimes it is for some people, of course, it can be a big issue. I was maybe fortunate, or let's say less political person in my life, more concentrated on the game itself.
Looking through chess history, all the great players, it happened that none of them really had kids who are great players. And the question is, you have your family, your wife, your daughter play. Why do you think is there a specific reason why that's the case? And how can you reflect, given your personal experience with your family?
Yes, I think there is some reasons to this. I think that I have fantastic and very bright kids. But I have a theory about chess. I think that the chess is very specific activity. And you have to be successful as a chess player, you have kind of you need to have the unique combinations of qualities, which probably are kind of useless in other fields. For example, you need a level of concentration during the chess game, which is not maybe just one or two professions on earth they need the same level of concentration, but usually you don't need to work so hard for 4 hours and so concentrated for 4 hours. If you don't have this quality, you are handicapped as a chess player. Or there are some people who are emotional, and for them it is much more difficult to play chess than for me, for example, who is a little bit reserved in this sense. But they are wonderful people. Yeah, that's not a bad quality to be more emotional. They are beautiful persons. Yeah, and so you need a kind of unique combinations, and that I think that to get the combination. You cannot get a copy. Yeah, it's almost like genetical. Yeah, you can get always a mixture with different qualities. So you more likely you will not get the same combination of qualities in the next generation.
Okay. Thank you, Artur.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We hope to see you next year.
I hope to
in
come.
the camps.
I hope to come next year too. Yes.